There is really only one method for farming nanites that I recommend. That's because we are effectively able to convert credits into nanites. Realistically, to start with, you should probably get your credit game online first. We already have the video up for that recently. It'll be in the playlist that's linked at the end of this video, just in case you want to find it. Once you have your credit game online, getting nanites becomes very simple once you know where to look. What you want to do is get to your galaxy map, and we just want to look around for a pirate system. In case you don't know what that looks like, it is a system that has a skull in the place of where the threat level is in the zone. We're going to go ahead and travel there now. We'll head into the space station, where we'll turn into the corner where we can speak to the contraband agent. Once you're here, I actually recommend buying all of the suspicious goods that they have. I'll show you guys why as we go through. But whether it's the goods, the arms, or the tech, go ahead and get all of it. You could technically buy the larval cores, but I don't think this is a very good deal at like close to 100k for what is like 50 or 150 nanites that you could get from this, unless you are up for an extreme amount of duping. These only stack in sets of 10, so it would take a lot of effort to get nanites out of these. We will go over a duping method at the end, but I don't really want to have that be how we start. In any case, once you have these packages, we just open them up, and you're going to see this is going to give us the purple modules here, which we are then able to sell for nanites. In case you don't know about these have a much wider variation of stats that they can put onto their corresponding items. So if you haven't used these before, you can try them out on your gear. Once you've rolled them, they are worth less nanites, so bear that in mind. And when it comes to the goods packages, these are actually able to give you items such as the sac venom, the hypnotic eyes, and larval cores. So these are kind of alternate ways to get nanites anyway, but as well as that, they're also going to be giving you items that you can resell to get some of your money back. Enough about some of this alternate stuff. All we need to do now is go on over to the aftermarkets upgrade guy, who will happily buy all of your modules from your inventory to give you those nanites that we're after, which means it's extremely simple to repeat the process. All we need to do now is return to the galaxy map to find a new pirate system so that we can rinse and repeat. I will mention another method just because I know somebody is probably going to talk about it. If you have been farming your Corvette, it's very likely that you'll have a lot of sentinel boundary maps. You can use these to actively farm sentinels, which will drop, I think it's called living glass, which basically has the same effect as the packages we were opening. You can keep on opening them up, and they will drop sentinel variants of mods, which you can very similarly sell for lots of nanites. This is probably mildly faster to do because you can do it consecutively, and then you'll head back to a base, sell it all off in one go. But I feel like this requires more setup. So from somebody that's just starting out or following a playlist perspective, you'll want to have a much better set of modules on your multi-tool, so you'll already need to have had nanites to make that a thing. And I'm not convinced it's necessarily faster overall, because you will have longer reset times between getting a hold of the modules and then being able to sell them. And we'll touch on the duping method as well. I don't really want to go through an entire freighter for it. If you do your freighter missions, or you haven't got your freighter set up yet, doing these emergency signal missions, which you can get from either the Nexus or from the scrap merchant within the different space stations, you can track down a freighter to board and clear out, and that is going to give you tainted metal. Now this is quite useful because you can use it to trade for items from the same scrap dealer that you use to find the freighter, but you can also refine this into nanites, which means if you're not against duping, this is probably the best item for it because of how many we get. Just to show you guys how that works, you bring up your crafting menu and you put a refiner on a flat surface, preferably. Inside of there, you put the item that you would like to multiply. So in this case, you'll place the tainted metal, and then what you'll do is you'll get another one, and you want to place it kind of on top of it, but you don't want it to be identical. What we're aiming for is, you see the cylinder in the middle to be overlapping with it, almost in the same place, but not exactly. And then we need to do that multiple times over the top. Now, this isn't always 100%, so you will want to do this quite a few times. And then when we pick up all of the refiners, we'll find that we are now multiplying our tainted metal. This basically means you can get whatever you want from the scrap dealer, or you can drop it off into a refiner to be converted into nanites.